In the 11th century, the Iberian Peninsula became the staging ground for a calculated legal renaissance. Andalusia functioned as a high-stakes crucible, a place where Jewish jurisprudence was fiercely debated and systematically refined under intense political pressure. This intellectual expansion took place within the thriving urban centers of Islamic Spain, anchored by cities like Córdoba. The environment was defined by its Moorish architecture, extraordinary wealth, and the deep integration of diverse cultures. The architects of this infrastructure were Shmuel Hanagid and his son Yosef. They rose to unprecedented political heights, serving as the chief advisors and commanding generals for the Muslim courts of Granada. Shmuel Hanagid utilized his political influence and personal wealth to engineer a comprehensive scholarly ecosystem. He personally funded academies, commissioned scribes to copy legal texts, and supported students from Spain to the ancient centers of Babylon. This political dominance and economic leverage provided the necessary infrastructural foundation for an intellectual renaissance. The resources they deployed built the framework that allowed Jewish law to survive its transition out of the Middle East. This structured ecosystem produced a generation of scholars led by a group known as the Five Yitzchaks. This cohort included figures like Yitzchak ibn al-Balya, Yitzchak ibn Giyat, and Yitzchak al-Bargaloni. Men like Ibn al-Balya and Ibn Giyat did not study in isolation. They operated at the highest echelons of the Nagid's royal court. Their scholarship was defined by polymathic integration. These were elite, worldly intellectuals who viewed scientific, linguistic, and philosophical mastery as requirements for serious legal study. In practice, their mastery of Talmudic jurisprudence was combined with groundbreaking Hebrew poetry, rigorous philosophical inquiry, and precise linguistics in both Hebrew and Arabic. Within the Andalusian ecosystem, legal scholarship was viewed as the ultimate expression of a holistic, rationalist framework designed to govern all human knowledge. While Spain flourished, a geopolitical crisis was unfolding in the east. The ancient Babylonian academies, the historic seat of the Geonim, were fracturing under severe political persecution and regional instability. The legal authority of these academies did not drift to Spain by chance. To maintain objective constitutional legitimacy, the crown of Torah was deliberately transferred through an unbroken chain of custody. The first link in this chain stretched from the final Babylonian titan, Hai Gaon, westward into North Africa. It was carried by scholars like Hushiel, Hananel, and Nissim Gaon in the academies of Kairouan. From North Africa, this lineage passed to the most influential of the five titans, Rabbi Isaac Alfasi, known as the Rif. He was the direct student of both Rabbeinu Hananel and Rav Nissim Gaon. By crossing the Mediterranean to lead the yeshiva in Spain, the Rif successfully moved the Geonim's constitutional authority out of the collapsing east and firmly into the west. As the Jewish diaspora expanded, it faced a severe structural crisis. The 500-year-old Babylonian Talmud was entirely dialectical, vast and labyrinthine. Local courts lacked the tools to navigate its dense debates for practical, daily jurisprudence. The Rif solved this crisis by authoring a revolutionary legal codex known as Hilkot HaRif. His methodology was systematic. He bypassed centuries of sprawling Talmudic debate and narrative tangents, extracting only the absolute, actionable legal axioms. This distillation produced a streamlined legal text. Local judges across the diaspora could definitively rely upon it without needing to parse the original dialectic. The historical validation of this codex came generations later, when Moses Maimonides declared that the Rif's work sufficed in place of them all. Hilkot HaRif was a piece of legal technology. By making absolute judicial authority portable, it prevented the fracturing of diaspora law and maintained a unified legal code. The final act of the Rif's tenure was ensuring this centralized authority outlived him. He deliberately prepared the transfer of his legal crown and the institutional weight of the yeshiva. He handed the leadership to his student, Rabbi Yosef Alavi ibn Ligash, bypassing his own family to prioritize legal merit. Ibn Migash's ascension proved the Andalusian intellectual framework was sustainable. It demonstrated that supreme appellate authority could be successfully transferred to a new generation natively trained in Spain. Because objective legal authority relies on an unbroken chain of succession, Successfully installing Ibn Magash averted a constitutional crisis and secured the continuity of the legal tradition. The scholarly crucible forged by the Nagid and the Rif, built on legal rigor and polymathic mastery, directly nurtured the subsequent generation of intellectuals. This environment produced the figures whose work defines Jewish thought: Shlomo ibn Gabirol, Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, Rabbi Abraham ibn Ezra, and Abraham ibn Daud. These titans produced the definitive works of Jewish philosophy and historical record, such as Ibn Daud's Sefer HaKabbalah. This generation solidified Andalusia as the engine of Jewish thought. By the time their work was complete, the 3,000-year legal tradition was anchored by a centralized, rational framework that would govern the diaspora for centuries.